Hello, this is Miho from Canada. How are you guys doing? I hope your mental and physical health are good and fit. So, I was thinking of this. I've been through this by myself for many years, and I didn't know how to get out of that loop. Like, you have things inside that you really wanted to do, or you have desire to be, like that or like this, but something is holding you down or holding you back, and you cannot just put your foot in front of you. Something is pulling you. And I was in that loop and stuck for many years, and I really wanted to know why I was feeling that, but I couldn't quite find out. I couldn't really quite put the finger on to really see what was causing this like pulling and like a stuck feeling. Then I realized that you really need to focus on yourself internally, not focusing on what's going on around you, which is your normal life. Like, you deal with so many things and people and situations, and you start to pick up all those vibrations from others who are happy, who are not happy, miserable, sad, and all those vibrations are like right there in front of you or surrounded, so that you start to picking them up, and that cause you to feel exhausted, or you feel that energy that pulling down, or sometimes raise your vibration. That's awesome way, but you need to know how to let go of those unwanted vibration and frequency. And one way is just cutting it meaning that it's not gonna cut the relationship. It's invisible connection between people, that you pick up other people's emotions, even though you're not next to each other, even if you're so far away in distance wise, in ocean cross on the other continents, and still when you think about that person, you connect, right? So you have a vivid imagination plus really strong connection that you don't really see, but you have this deep connection. So even though you're not seeing the person, you feel the frustrations, or you feel the agitation or angry feelings. So you bring that with you, and that putting you down. So you need to learn how to just cut those cords. Sorry, I've done this again. So that's another thing you need to keep an eye out, to keep to be sane, or to keep your energy clean, because that's not your feelings. It's coming from outside. And when you're focusing on yourself internally, you start to really see the difference. What's really happening inside of you, or what's really getting from the outside. So when you focus on yourself, you have this burning desire to do something that you really wanted to do, but you just can't go forward. And you feel this frustrations, or this fear, or all sorts of negative feelings, and that's pretty normal. But when you are already in this stage, what's left is doing. And doing is something that you're gonna put yourself a level up, because you're doing something different than what you used to be doing. So you have those fears because you haven't done this before, and all you know is what you've done in the past, which created probably a lot of negative feelings, or like something that's not really helping you. then you connect to those feelings and you think to yourself like, oh, what if, what if, what if? And your thoughts process goes crazy, and that thought process is the one that is really stopping you. So you focus internal voice, and that connect to your intuition and higher self and gut feeling. That's the truth that is speaking to you. And people around you might not like that idea, or they get really offended, or some sort of negative comments about that, but that's okay. That's natural, because you're not gonna stay where you're at. You're in the process of going somewhere different, in level 1 to level 2. And when you shift to level 2, you're surrounded by people who are at level 2, so that you start to see the difference in people's quality, or the way they behave. And I would hear the question like, what about a family? Like, they're there always, That's true. But for instance, that if you see them all the time, and occasionally you get in arguments because you see each other so many times, then when you get to shift experience, and you have somehow less and less time to see the family member, and you just occasionally start to see them. So when they see each other, because it's not that often as before, you take that opportunity as a very precious moment, and there will be less arguments, and things start to fall into peaceful, solutions, or it's just peace in between them. And something like that will start to happen, and it's just people who will disappear, or new people will come in those stage 2. And then you start to shift more, and then people start, to suit to that level as well. They start to behave, at that level 2 and level 3, and so on. It depends on where you go. So it's really interesting to see how you proceed to the different dimensions or the world, and you have different experiences. At the same time, people around you would be slightly different as well, and you start to really capture that too. And partially because your frequency has been changed, so that you shifted your the world slightly, and then people around you have shifted as well. So it's kind of nice way to see, oh, I'm progressing, or I'm just stuck in the same way. You could kind of do, see the difference in between the two worlds. But you literally keep shifting and shifting and shifting, because that shift is so minimal that you don't really feel the major differences. Like all of a sudden that building there disappear. That sort of thing doesn't usually happen. So, but the vision of the world, will slowly or suddenly to some people, as does make a different scene, and you really start to feel a new person, and you literally have a lot of potentials and unlimited abilities to do so many things. It's just so many thought processes are stopping you. I've been there, and I've been fighting with it, but letting go with the resistance, letting go of those feelings that's coming from outside are so important to cleanse your heart, so that you could really attach to what they're saying to you, what the heart is saying to you, not your thoughts. So try to focus what the heart is saying to you instead of your thoughts, and that really make really good decision on what to do from there on. Okay, so see you soon in the next video.